everything can be going just fine. But in one split second, that water can overtake you.
There is a national standard. You need to get all of this on in 1 minute. Are you ready? Yes. Go. Minute and 30 seconds.
What? The name of the game is simple. You hit the ball one way, and then you hit it back.
He went by in a hurry, but it was still him, the Holy Father.
I will not raise middle-class taxes.
We'll build a wall. Don't worry about it, man. We'll build a wall.
I was nothing. I sat behind a desk. I did enjoy the makeup, and I read introductions off blue cards.
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics could land them in places like Mars or a classroom right here on Earth. In the middle of a city, in a recycle room with a garden tool, the compost guy is busy making a positive impact on the environment.
When you think of a typical office setting, you hear sounds like this. Not this.
Being a little girl, I always played with my food. My mom would always tell me, stop playing with your food and eat it. I started carving fruit about maybe 7 years ago.
Shooting that took place in the early morning hours. Just after midnight, police were called to this parking lot near Main Street in Stroudsburg.
The crew, the shift members, thought it would be appropriate to do a theme on September 11th.
Ever since that day, I think we've all changed. People came together quickly.
From the air to the ground, hundreds of members of law enforcement descended on this small neighborhood in Foster Township.
Unbelievable. I'm down here 53 years in this house. Never got this exciting in my life. They chased the kids in and they told us that, not to leave.
Investigators say a man was holed up inside a garage here. They believed he was armed. Freeland Borough, Butler Township, Whitehaven, and state police moved in. People in nearby homes told to leave. This woman lives just doors down from the standoff and found she couldn't get home.
We come home and to see all this, what's going on, we don't know. And I can't get in my house, so I have to stay right here. You don't see this kind of stuff around here.
After hours and without injuries, police arrested this man. Doug Bitzer of Freeland was wanted on charges he assaulted his girlfriend when police say he walked into her home, threatened her, and then took off, ending up in a friend's garage in Foster Township, leading to an hours-long standoff. When asked what happened, he said, Neighbors say they're glad it all ended peacefully.
I'm glad for that because I know the kid and I know his girlfriend. In fact, the girlfriend was born across the street.
Beneath the lights at the annual Turkey Bowl, it wasn't hard to find a cheer.
Go Woodson!
Or someone posing for the camera. But this wasn't the picture four-time champion H.D. Woodson High School fans wanted to see.
I was disappointed.
This video from 2 weeks ago shows a fight breaking out on a football field between Woodson and Eastern High School players.
It broke out after another kid hit the player in the back of the head.
You see, that broke the rules.
All they did was counteract with what was going on.
The penalty? A one-game suspension.
That was laid out before the school year, was laid out, and during the season, it was laid out before the playoffs started.
Now, at the time, 18 players from Woodson and 7 players from Eastern were suspended for one game. We're talking about 18 players suspended. Did that go too far?
I think so.
It's football. It's a physical sport.
After 9 students made an appeal, one Woodson player got the suspension overturned. The rest forced to remain on the sidelines.
Certainly losing really good players for a game is going to have an impact. I'm not blind to that.
The school district said, look, they broke the rules. This is something that they had to do.
I understand that. And you got to do what they got to do.
DCBS Chancellor Antoine Wilson standing behind his decision, saying it was all about safety and students being taught to follow the rules, even if some say it may have caused Woodson to lose the Turkey Bowl to Blue.
And the truth is, if it wouldn't have been for the suspension, we would have definitely dogged and won this game.
Reporting in Northeast Washington, Michael Quander.
I mean, it is what it is.
WUSA 9.
Let's go Nationals!
Before Nationals Park is filled with the roar from thousands of baseball fans, first, the roar of a lawnmower fills the stadium.
We're out here probably anywhere from 10 to 12 hours before first pitch. We have our certain routine that we go through on game days. Everything that we do out here is for playability.
Washington Nationals Director of Field Operations John Turner has a lot on his mind before each game.
Weather, it's something I look at constantly, every morning, every night, and probably, 24 times in between.
Before and even during the game, you'll see John update the umpires about changes in the weather.
Once the game starts, it's in the umpire's hands as far as, do we go into a rain delay? Do we have to postpone the game?
While rain might delay a game, it doesn't stop the work of John and his team. After all, it's not just any grass.
This is Kentucky bluegrass. It's well adapted to our area. It's great for sports. It's an athletic type turf. It's aesthetically pleasing. It holds up great to wear and tear, so it fits our area very well for us.
In the field or in the stands, the pattern for the field is carefully considered.
We generally will call this our summertime pattern. We're just a little bit ahead of it right now. So we will look at the time of year and how our schedule lines up with games, how long homestands are, to determine what pattern we want to go with.
This pattern offers 3 different directions for mowing. While it has to suit the players, it also has to suit the fans.
On camera, we want to have the field looking aesthetically pleasing for the fans that come in, and then also all of our viewers at home. So we kind of keep camera angles in mind as well.
The perfect angle, straight lines, beautiful shades of green, creating a flawless pattern. A baseball field is where art meets science in seamless transition.
And again, this is not playing conditions right now, but one thing that we'll do is make sure that we have this pulled up right on that edge. So we'll do that throughout the morning on a game day. That way, when we come out here, our conditioner is maintaining our moisture, and it's really making sure that we stay nice and flush there in that transition.
The best baseball players in the world take to this field.
And I think that's one of the greatest things, is when you're out here with the staff day in and day out, and we get to the point where the team takes the field, and there is certainly a sense of pride with that.
It's a balance of art, science, and a lot of emotion that drives us to do what we do here.
Joe Mullins is a forensic artist at the Forensic Services Unit at the Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
We're just trying to put out an image for somebody to see it and kind of squint their eyes and say, I think I know who that is.
Joe looks at the faces time hasn't touched, and with a digital pen, he pushes the years forward. Joe has the very important and very difficult job of digitally aging missing children.
The magic behind everything we do is more technique than technology. It's a manual, manipulation of these images.
With painstaking attention to detail, every aspect is done by hand.
We're going to take that 10-year-old and make them look 12. And to do that, we want family reference pictures, because everybody's heard at some point, hey, you look like your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, so that's what we need.
The process of digitally aging a child starts with that child's photograph. The reference photos also play a huge role in piecing together an aged image of a child.
Now, clicking back and forth, you can see similarities he shares, particularly with his, definitely dad's head shape, dad's ears, more of mom's nose, mom's eyes.
Closing this gap in the aging process is never easy for an artist. The younger the child, the more challenging the process can be. 3 years of age is the minimum they want to move forward with in age progression.
By age 3, your face is pretty much defined. The features that make you are starting to develop, so we can see that.
Joe carefully works on the photos of each missing child, while pictures of his own children are close by.
The unfortunate horrors that the world is capable of inflicting on children, and so having that knowledge and having pictures of our children staring back at me, that's just motivation to do my job the best of my ability.
I feel like I have come full circle.
Joe age progressed J.C. Dugard. You may remember she was kidnapped in 1991 from a bus stop when she was just 11 years old. 18 years later, and many age progression photographs later, Joe got to see the face he'd only been able to imagine.
She sat with me for like an hour and a half and wanted to see everything that we did here. So it was just amazing.
Watch as Joe shows us how he pieced together JC's age-progressed image.
And then going through the process of creating that age-progressed image, and seeing the side-by-side comparison.
Missing 18 years, JC's story gives hope to other families.
I have a thank you note that her and her mom had sent me after a meeting that sits right beside my desk if I need a motivation for or reminder of why we're here. And that's one of our sayings here, hope is why we're here.
Mixing, digging, hammering, and gluing. These local volunteers are super excited about this new playground in Congress Heights.
We're excited to be here today at the ARC building our 3,000th playground.
That's right, this is playground number 3,000 nationwide for the Kaboom organization, a nonprofit started right here in the district.
We believe that each child should have active and balanced play, and not only the child, but we know that it helps kids grow into healthy adults as well.
The first playground was built 22 years ago.
Building a playground is something all kids can understand, and it's a really neat way to get a kid interested in helping other kids.
Sarah and 7-year-old Harry Hirsch flew in from Chicago to celebrate this milestone. They have been involved with Kaboom for several years, and both are huge believers in the power of play.
And it really got us out in the community searching for different playgrounds. He loved it, and watching him change and develop playing on all these different playgrounds really got me interested in the purpose of play and how kids really develop so much from it.
Instead of birthday presents, Harry asks for families to donate money to Kaboom every year. He calls them Kaboom birthdays.
And so he's had 6 Kaboom birthdays.
Since Saturday, I've unloaded a container, a tractor trailer.
Breast cancer survivor Lee McCrary has been helping with the volunteers all week. She's not only focused on the personal development for the local children, but also their safety.
I see a lot of kids around here playing in the street. They don't really have any place to play. There's cars, and if they're not paying attention, kids can almost get hit, and it's happened around here.
Lee says projects like this help the community come together, and their work is almost done.
I've carried a lot of stuff over to the playground, and now today I have it easy. I'm picking up trash.